Majestic vessels of the Nile. The Egyptian war galleys, the Nile River, a ribbon of life, a highway of ancient Egypt, but also a battleground. On its shimmering surface, massive warships once clashed. These were the war galleys of the pharaohs, majestic and deadly. Imagine the sight: long, sleek hulls slicing through the water, oars churning, creating a rhythmic beat of war. These were no simple boats. These were floating fortresses built for speed, agility, and above all, destruction. The galleys were the embodiment of Egypt's might. They projected power and dominance. Their presence on the Nile, a statement to all who dared to challenge the pharaoh's rule. The galleys were more than just weapons of war. They were symbols of Egypt's strength and innovation. They allowed the pharaohs to control the Nile, to protect their borders, and to expand their empire. These ships were the key to Egypt's prosperity and security. Lions of the Nile. Design and terror of the galleys. The Egyptian war galleys were marvels of engineering. Crafted from wood, they were lightweight yet sturdy. Their streamlined design allowed for speed and maneuverability. The heart of the galley was its rowers. Dozens of men, their muscles straining, propelled the ship forward. At the bow, a fearsome sight awaited any enemy. The prow of the galley was often carved into the shape of a lion's head, a symbol of the Egyptian god Ra. Its gaping jaws and fierce eyes meant to intimidate and terrify. Behind the prow stood the warriors. Archers, their quivers full of arrows, ready to rain down death from afar. Foot soldiers, armed with spears and shields, prepared for hand-to-hand combat. The galley was a floating battlefield. Every inch designed for a specific purpose, every man on board a cog in a deadly machine. The Egyptian war galleys were not just ships, they were extensions of the pharaoh's will, instruments of war crafted to conquer and rule. Clash of oars. Chaos and carnage on the Nile. Imagine the scene. The sun beats down on the Nile. The air is thick with tension. Two fleets of war galleys face each other, oars churning, they close in, the sound of drums echoing across the water. The clash, when it comes, is brutal. Arrows darken the sky, the thud of impacts, the screams of the wounded. Galleys ram each other, their wooden hulls splintering. Soldiers clash on the decks, a chaotic melee of steel and fury. The Nile runs red with blood. The battle is a maelstrom of noise, violence and death. Victory on the Nile was not just about firepower, it was about strategy, about using the wind and current to your advantage. It was about the bravery of the warriors and the skill of the captains. Naval battles were a deadly dance, a test of strength, cunning and sheer determination. Inferno on the water, the devastating fire ship. Amongst the arsenal of the Egyptian navy was a weapon as ingenious as it was terrifying: the fire ship. These were older, expendable vessels, packed with combustible materials, pitch, sulfur, anything that would burn fiercely and long. As the battle raged, the fire ship would be set ablaze and steered towards the enemy, a flaming terror carried by the wind. Panic would seize the enemy fleet. To be caught by a fire ship meant certain death. The heat, the flames licking at the wooden hulls, the suffocating smoke. It was a horrific end. The fire ship was a psychological weapon as much as a physical one. The sight of it, an inferno on the water, was enough to break the enemy's spirit. The Battle of the Delta, turning the tide against the Sea Peoples. One battle stands out: the Battle of the Delta. Egypt against the Sea Peoples. Mysterious invaders who threatened Egypt. The Sea Peoples came in waves. They set their sights on Egypt. Egyptian war galleys met the invaders head-on. The battle raged for hours. Egyptians had a secret weapon: fire ships. Fire ships sailed into the enemy fleet. The Sea Peoples panicked. The tide of battle turned. Section 6. Echoes of victory, the return of the Nile's warriors. The sun set over the Nile Delta, casting long shadows over the water. The sounds of battle faded, replaced by the groans of the wounded. The Battle of the Delta was over. The Egyptians had won, repelling the Sea Peoples. As the smoke cleared, the survivors began the journey home. The war galleys, bearing the scars of battle, sailed back up the Nile. There was a sense of triumph in the air. The cheers of the returning warriors echoed across the water. They were the heroes of Egypt, their names to be etched in stone. Section 7. Legacy of the Galleys, guardians of Egypt's might. The war galleys of ancient Egypt were more than just instruments of war. They were symbols of the pharaoh's power, projecting dominance over the Nile and beyond. The sleek, deadly vessels served as guardians of Egypt's prosperity, securing trade routes and repelling invaders. Their victories ensured the survival of a civilization. The legacy of these warships is etched in the very fabric of ancient Egyptian culture. From the towering temples of Karnak to the elaborate tombs of the Valley of the Kings, images of war galleys abound. These depictions are not merely artistic flourishes. They are testaments to the vital role these vessels played in shaping the destiny of a nation. The war galleys were a source of immense pride for the Egyptians. They represented the pinnacle of their shipbuilding prowess, their military might, and their unyielding spirit. They served as a constant reminder that Egypt was a force to be reckoned with, a power that commanded both respect and fear. Section 8. Beyond the battlefield, the cultural impact of naval warfare. The impact of naval warfare extended far beyond the battlefield. It influenced ancient Egyptian art, religion, and even their understanding of the cosmos. Wall paintings and reliefs in tombs and temples often depicted naval battles, showcasing the pharaoh's might and the bravery of his warriors. The Egyptians believed that the sun god Ra traveled across the sky in a celestial barge. The design of the war galleys, with their soaring sails and gleaming prows, may have been inspired by this belief, linking the earthly power of the pharaoh to the divine realm. Naval warfare also fostered a culture of innovation. The need to outmaneuver and outgun their enemies drove the Egyptians to constantly refine their ship designs, develop new weapons like the fire ship, and hone their naval tactics. This spirit of innovation spilled over into other areas of Egyptian society, contributing to their advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and engineering. Section 9. Unraveling the past modern discoveries in ancient naval warfare. For centuries, the war galleys of ancient Egypt existed only in the realm of legend and imagination. However, in recent decades, archaeologists have made remarkable discoveries that have shed new light on these formidable warships. Sunken shipwrecks unearthed in the depths of the Nile or buried beneath the sands have revealed a wealth of information about their construction, weaponry, and even the lives of the sailors who manned them. These underwater excavations have yielded a treasure trove of artifacts, including wooden planks, oars, anchors, and even fragments of sails. By meticulously studying these remnants, researchers have been able to reconstruct the designs of these vessels with remarkable accuracy. These discoveries have not only deepened our understanding of ancient Egyptian shipbuilding techniques, but have also provided insights into the daily lives of the sailors. Personal items found on board, such as amulets, gaming pieces, and even musical instruments, offer a glimpse into the hopes, fears, and leisure activities of these ancient mariners. Section 10. The Nile remembers, a timeless symbol of power and resilience. The Nile River, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, bears silent witness to the triumphs and tragedies of a bygone era. The echoes of clashing oars, the cries of battle, and the roar of fire ships have long since faded, but the memory of Egypt's naval prowess endures. The war galleys, once symbols of the pharaoh's might, now exist as fragments of the past, carefully preserved in museums or lying undisturbed beneath the waters of the Nile. They serve as a poignant reminder of the ingenuity, courage, and ambition of a civilization that flourished on the banks of this iconic river. Their legacy continues to inspire awe and wonder, reminding us that even in the face of adversity, human ingenuity and determination can achieve extraordinary feats. The Nile, ever flowing, carries these stories downstream, whispering tales of ancient battles, valiant warriors, and the enduring spirit of a civilization that shaped the course of human history.